Disgusting abomination. Musk blasts Trump's agenda bill.
On Capitol Hill, Donald Trump's agenda, the big, beautiful bill, is facing a critical test. Can Republicans make enough changes to get the bill through the Senate without making so many changes that it dies when it goes back to the House? Republican leaders have imposed a July 4th deadline on themselves, so they've given themselves just 1 month to get this bill to the president's desk. And considering just how big the bill is and that it's not quite beautiful enough for all of the Republicans in the Senate, that timeline is, shall we say, ambitious. Already, 4 GOP senators have said they're not on board. Okay. Math is it's so simple, I will do it on television. A half a dozen more Republicans appear to be on the fence here. So why is that? For many of them, it is the budget analysis that says that the bill would cut billions from Medicaid while adding trillions to the national debt. One of these holdouts, the Kentucky Senator Rand Paul.
I like that all of the outspoken holdouts are mad, with the exception of Josh Hawley. Josh Hawley is mad because he needs to be a fake populist. And in an effort to be a fake populist, he's like, oh, you're cutting Medicare. I don't like it. But the other guys are mad because it's not cutting enough from the working poor. And Josh Hawley is not even like real mad. He's just like fake concerned. He will gladly vote for that. The rest of them think that the Medicaid cuts are not enough,
while adding trillions to the national debt. One of these holdouts, the Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, of course, finds himself at the center of Donald Trump's attention, not always a positive thing. The president writing this online, quote, Rand votes no on everything, but never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy. Parentheses, losers, exclamation.
He's saying this is a big growth bill. Trump is on abundance. Trump got on the abundance mindset, chat, clearly.
Point. End quote. Senator Paul later told reporters that he wants to vote yes on the bill, but.
Conservative Republicans vote for this. There is no conservative opposition. They will own it. The debt will be owned by the Republicans. It's no more pointing fingers at the Democrats and saying, oh, they're the big spenders. It'll be all on Republican shoulders.
Okay, so all of that unfolding this morning through lunchtime. And then comes this afternoon. Elon Musk entered the chat. The now former Doge head taking to his platform, formerly known as Twitter, writing this, quote, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. He said, shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. All right, our panel is here, and we're also joined by CNN's Manu Raju, who's
Elon is another outsider who thinks it's too much spending.
Live for us on Capitol Hill. Manu, Elon Musk is not the first person to present the content in that post about a bill that adds trillions of dollars to the national debt. He sounds like a lot of Republicans that I've covered, you've covered probably in your time on the Hill. However, we are in different times. And it's a pretty remarkable statement from someone who is as close as he is to President Donald Trump. What has been the reaction from the Hill in the hours since that tweet came out?
It's completely scrambled the politics up here. Democrats cheering this. Chuck Schumer coming out to his weekly press conference touting this post by Elon Musk. Hakeem Jeffries, a Democratic leader, doing the same thing. Republicans, on the other hand, pushing back, including the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who I caught up with in the immediate aftermath of that post. He told me that he has spoken at length with Musk yesterday, and he said that he had tried to explain to Musk the virtues of the bill, and he also suggested that Musk perhaps could be driven in part by his opposition because the bill would call for the elimination of certain tax incentives for electric vehicles. And of course, Elon Musk owns Tesla.
Elon is missing it, okay? And it's not personal. I know that the EV mandate, very important to him, that is going away because the government should not be subsidizing these things. But for him to come out and pan the whole bill is
hell yeah, baby, fight. Fight, baby, fight. The EV mandate is going away. Why is the government subsidizing electric vehicles?
To me, just very disappointing, very surprising.
All of a sudden, they are reminded of the conflict of interest. No issues there when they let this disgusting monster, this disgusting billionaire, put his grotesque penis in every orifice of the federal regulatory agencies that were in the process of investigating his numerous companies. You know, but now he's like, oh, well, you don't want our big, beautiful bill. I hate this. You're doing conflict of interest, sir.
In light of the conversation I had with him yesterday.
And I asked Johnson whether or not he is, in fact,
the Democratic Party's brilliant policies unfolding, which is to basically become such a non-issue, such a non-entity that you are left to make Republicans fight amongst themselves over how much of the working poor must die. Is it 2% of the working poor that must be melted for biomatter, or is it 5% of the working poor that must be melted for biomatter? Of course, they will be melted. Make no mistake. Great stuff from the Democrats overall. Fantastic work. Thank you so much. The Republicans have presented endless opportunities for attack, endless openings for attack over and over again. And the Democrats have no vision whatsoever and no interest in actually pushing for a grand design for a future America that somehow will be better than the not so distant past. So for that reason, they're just keeping quiet, unless it's Chuck Schumer chirping about nuking Iran, in which case the Democrats don't keep quiet when they should. Yeah, I saw this as well. We have the lamest opposition in American history. JD Vance is right. I can't believe I'm saying this. The lamest guy in the United States of America unironically had a true take about the Democrats. I will never forgive the Democrats for this crime. This is a worse crime than anything that they could have ever contributed to. They do have the lamest opposition in history. And of course, who better to recognize how lame the opposition is than the lamest person in the Republican Party? Real recognize real, and lame recognize lame. What a horrible disaster.
Accusing Musk of attacking this bill because of his ownership of Tesla. He said, quote, I'm going to let others draw their own conclusions about that. But there are significant concerns among Senate Republicans about the potential impact on the debt and deficits. The House-passed bill, according to the Congressional Budget Office, would add nearly $4 trillion to deficits over the next several years. And that is something that some conservative Republican senators have raised concerns about, including one senator, Utah Republican John Curtis, who told me earlier today that he has significant concerns about the debt.
Scott Jennings, we've got a new tweet just in from Elon Musk. You look excited. So he writes this, quote, in November next year, we fire all politicians who betrayed the American people. He's quote tweeting someone who, we'll figure out exactly what the things are that he's criticizing him for. And this also coming as CNN is reporting here that White House officials are telling CNN that they were surprised by Elon Musk's scathing criticism on Tuesday.
Yes.
Were you, Scott Jennings, surprised? And it does seem to scramble the politics.
I wasn't surprised because I had spoken to him about what was motivating his service in Washington a few weeks ago, and he told me he's here to try to make America not go bankrupt. I mean, this is on his mind. We have a $36 trillion debt, and
he's having a hard time dick eating. He's like, whose dick can I be eating right now? He's like, on the one hand, I'm servile to the interests of billionaires. On the other hand, I'm servile to the interests of Donald Trump. So now that my daddies are fighting, I don't know whose cock to gobble on.
It should be on all of our minds. So that's number one. Number two, I don't think that we're done with the bill yet.
Poor Scott. Tough choice for him.
I mean, as you know, and as the reporting says, lots of changes are going to have to be made in the Senate to get it out of the Senate. And then those will have to be reconciled. The reconciliation will have to be reconciled with the House. And more changes still may come. I guess I want multiple things. I want the president to get his agenda. And the agenda, the core part of this, and the thing that is not negotiable, is the extension and making permanent the tax cuts, investment in border security, energy deregulation, the biggest welfare reform in recent history. I mean, these are non-negotiable, I think, to the president because it's what he ran on. But the Republicans should listen here to Elon when it comes to the national debt. We have work to do on this. We have governing responsibility. And maybe it doesn't come in this bill, but the rescissions packages to come and our other work to come here, getting a handle on a $36 trillion debt is not going to be easy, but it is necessary because this is not sustainable.
Yeah, Adrian Elrod, I mean, this has put Chuck Schumer on the same side as Elon Musk.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that would have happened? Look, a couple of things. I don't really know at the end of the day how many people are going to be impacted by Elon Musk, tweeting that he doesn't support this bill. I mean, he's deeply unpopular among Democrats. He's certainly waning or less popular among Republicans.
What do you think? Is this bill happening? I don't think so, but who knows? Who knows at this point, chat? I don't know. I mean, they did actually push through the last tax cut when Donald Trump was president, and that was also hastily slapped together. The thing is, it's got funds for Israel in it. And you got to remember, Democrats don't necessarily care about melting the poor either, but they do care about giving Israel money. So on the one hand, it's like, what are you expecting the Democrats to actually fight for SNAP benefits for 3 to 7-year-olds? Probably not going to happen. So I don't know. If we get the big, beautiful bill, it'd be crazy, but maybe we get it through Democratic support. I don't know.
He's out of Washington now. I think Mike Johnson actually was right. He said he's concerned about this bill because it doesn't have the tax credits for the EVs, and that's going to affect his industry. So I think that's one category. But look, at the end of the day, Scott, here's the bottom line.
Isn't that political suicide for Dems? I mean, I feel like half of them are dead already. 6 of them literally died. Half of them are already basically in a vegetative state. I don't think they give a shit. I think it's a dead party. Look at their approval ratings. Like, they seemingly don't care about fixing their popularity problem. I genuinely don't think that they care about becoming popular again or like winning elections. It feels like they will work to reduce their base of support. I think they'll work to reduce their base of support while simultaneously still like being the marginally better party, and we'll try to ride on that forever.